Welcome back to Living Our American Dream, everybody. Today's Father's Day 2021, and you've seen a clip of Megan running through the front yard chasing a butterfly. That was kind of neat. Just kind of hanging out today. Earlier we went fishing. Took my mom and dad and my boys. My wife was kind enough to make us a nice brunch when we got back. Here's the boat in the background. Here's the boys cleaning our fish. We came back with a mess of bluegill. We're gonna get those filleted up so we can have a fish fry one of these days. But something neat just happened, and I wanted to share this with you guys. We got home and we were looking around the yard here, and Marcus came running over to me and said, Dad, there's a bunch of bees over here on this tree. So I have a swarm of honeybees in a honeybee box, and we purchased them this year. And over near them, in one of the maple trees in the yard, there was a big swarm of bees, honeybees, that had swarmed up on a limb. So I'll show you a couple of the pictures of that right now. We took a couple of pictures of the bees swarmed in the tree, and Monica and I proceeded to put our bee suits on and collect them, and hurried up and set up another box so that we could try to get them to live in another box so we would have two swarms of bees. So this video was taken by my mom, and it is turned the wrong way, but it still captures the whole thing. It's pretty cool. I've never had this happen before, so I thought I would capture it on video and throw it out there for you guys to check out. Hopefully you enjoy it. So first I'm going to throw a couple pictures in here just to kind of show you guys what was happening during the whole thing. I'm going to get right into my mom's video. So the video here, I trimmed a couple of the limbs off of the tree around the swarm of bees, and I took this oversized garbage bag and put it over what was remaining of the limbs and over pretty much all of the bees. And in a minute here, you'll see Monica walks around the other side to make sure that I've captured all of them. And then I shake them. That kind of takes them down into the bottom of the bag. Now the queen should be in the middle of that swarm. At this point, I'm realizing that this is a pretty good sized swarm of bees. When we purchase bees, we buy about 3 pounds of bees, and I would say this was probably double that, at least, based on how heavy that garbage bag was. So here, I already had the other hive set up. It took a few minutes before we started here to set that other hive up, and I literally just dumped the mass of bees into the hive and take the few remaining frames that I had out and carefully put them in there without trying to crush any of the bees, because I just don't want to kill any of them as we go. Again, I don't know exactly where the queen is, and I don't want to harm her, and just real carefully put those frames in there. And Monica hands me another honey super. Given the size of this swarm of bees, I wanted to make sure they had plenty of room in their new home, so I put a brood box on the bottom plus a honey super. And before I put my queen excluder on top for future use, I can put more honey supers on top. Then real quick, throw the lid on there. The brush was for brushing away the bees so that I didn't kill any of them as I placed the other box on. And here I'm just letting the rest of the bees out of the bag. There was probably a few hundred bees left in that bag, so just kind of shaking them out and letting them find their way to their new home. So I think this is going to turn out to be pretty good. And you can see based on my video that they seem to take to their new home pretty well. They were flying around quite a bit. Now it's in the afternoon. Right now it's been a couple of hours, and let's just walk over here and see how they're doing. So as we approach the hives, you can see I've got both hives right next to each other now. And I'm not gonna walk over there in the weeds, but you can see I definitely have bees coming and going out of each box. The box on the right is the box that was already there. That's the box that we put 3 pounds of bees that we purchased in. They seem to be reproducing really well. That is I forget what it's called, one of those flow boxes that you can flow the honey out of without taking the bees apart, and I'm going to show you guys that later in the season. And then the box on the left is more of a traditional bee box. So they're ones that I built years back, and they work good. So yeah, we're pretty excited. Let me get this over here. You can see the bees in the brown box out front because it's a little warm today. But the setup, I got that diamond plate piece of steel there for something for it to sit on. Of course, when I come back here on the flow hive, that's what it's called, the flow hive, you take this back off and there's a tool that goes in there and you kind of crack the honeycomb apart and it flows right out the back. It's pretty neat. We've done it before. I'll show you guys that later in the season, but there you go. So it looks like we might have 2 swarms of honeybees this year. Pretty cool. I didn't expect that to happen. My father-in-law, when he was alive, kind of got us into beekeeping, and it was actually my wife's grandfather that got him into beekeeping. So that suit that you see me in that looked like a really old bee suit, that was her grandfather's. So pretty neat to still be able to use that and kind of keep this tradition going. And I didn't expect, like I said, I didn't expect the bees to be swarmed up like this. For years and years, my father-in-law had told me and asked me if I ever had bee swarm around here, because we've got 90 acres of property, and there's been honeybees in some of the hollowed out trees in the woods in various places that I've found honeybees living, but I've never had them swarm up. And I've always seen videos on this, and he always talked about it and said, hey, if they ever swarm up like that, you know, give me a call. And he would come over and do what I just did. And I always thought, man, you gotta be nuts, go out there and get them bees like that. But he's gone now, and I don't know, it's Father's Day today. You just can't help but wonder if maybe he did that for us. I don't know. So pretty cool either way. So anyway, I'm gonna end this video. I hope you guys all had a good Father's Day today, and I'll see you on the next video.